Hello, good morning. It is the day for focusing on our backs. And the funny thing about focusing on our backs is we don't only focus on the back because the back is a central part of the body that connects to multiple parts, and um, it would be not consistent with the reality of the body if we only focus on the back itself. So today we're going to do some work with the shoulders, and that will help in particular with the upper back and also helps elongate our posture, strengthen our posture. So if you have a strap, this is what we're going to need today. I don't have a strap. I use a belt. I have two belts today. I grabbed a longer belt that's like a sash. It's made out of linen, so it's nice and sturdy. And this is so that it needs to be long enough so that you can hold your arms and keep them straight. So if you don't have one with you right now, take a moment to find one. Run around the house if you're in the live stream. Go grab one. If you're in a recording, pause and go find your strap. Hopefully you're close to getting your belt or your strap. And of course, always blocks are so important to have around. Anything that you can think of. It's amazing what we can use to help the body. So let's start, hoping that you're about there. Let's start, you know what? Let's go right to a pigeon's posture today. So sometimes I find myself achy through the day and I just immediately go right into a pigeon's posture. You don't have to warm up the body to be here. So we'll start in table and we can take the right leg back and then bring the right knee to the right hand, slide the left leg back and begin to fold in. And if you're in live stream and still kind of looking around for your belt, you can always pause the recording or rewind, pause the live stream. So once we lower, we'll pay attention to the breath and just sense how the breath is flowing in and out, how life force is traveling on the vehicle. It's in the vehicle of the breath. Life force, prana, is not the breath, but travels within the breath. Relaxing the body. And coming into a deeper breath. Intentionally drawing in prana more effectively with this deeper breath. Now we're going to be changing sides. So when you're ready, lift the head. Find a little bit of a back bend first. And in this back bend, you can have fingers down or palms down. You might sway a little bit side to side and kind of loosen up the hips, loosen up the low back, changing the direction of the pelvis. If you've been in seated today, then kind of like feeling what this is doing, giving us an anterior tilt in the pelvis. And that seated position, that posterior tilt, held for even short periods of time, but especially long periods of time, creates such havoc in the body. We're going to start to come out of this and shift into the other side. So you can take the left leg back, left knee to left hand, right leg slides back. And then when you're ready, begin to fold. And maybe you watch the breath again. Maybe you go right into a nice deep breath. Letting the body relax. And some more deep breaths as you're here. And then on this side as well, focusing on drawing in life force, vital energy, prana. And you can imagine it maybe, imagine it as you will, right? But maybe you bring a color to it, and maybe you kind of see it within the breath as it enters, fills the body, and whatever is not needed is exiting through the exhalation. And we're going to start to rise in another breath. Once you find your way up, a little bit of motion, some swaying, some paying attention to the shape of the pelvis. Find our way out of this. And let's come to a forward fold. Right in the center of the mat is good. So what we'll do is you can roll right over the toes, plant the feet, and then you might walk the hands back. So maybe towards the back of the mat, whatever is right. We'll work around the position here. So we'll separate the feet to wider than hips distance, maybe a little wider, maybe all the way to the edges of the mat. And let's come into Ujjayi Pranayama from here if you haven't already. So we'll release the arms to a degree. Take hands to opposite elbows. Then let the head go. And take a big breath in through the nostrils. Open the mouth. Exhale out, fogging. Mouth stays open. Fog inwardly. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. It almost feels like it's like taking a big gulp, like really letting everything out that doesn't need to be within, and then taking a big gulp of prana. And just keeping the lips sealed now. And we're going to find a squat. Now, I'd like to try this with blocks, so I'm going to grab some blocks. And you can use books, you can use all kinds of things. We'll start to lower the hips down, and just to kind of play around, I've got the blocks in front. I'm going to keep my hands here for a moment, just kind of lower, and just see what that feels like. and lift the heart. So without the support of the hands, usually I take these elbows internally to the legs, and that resistance kind of helps out. But without the arms, it feels much different. Now, if you have real tightness in the hips and the back of the legs, you can take heels to blocks and sink this way. And this is something that actually Randy helped me realize was a good thing for that, because, you know, with tightness in his body, he plays around all the time with props and tries to figure new things out, and helped me realize that this is helpful. It changed his ability to squat. So thank you for that, Randy. And just check it out and see if it works better for you. I don't really need the blocks, so I'm going to release them. And we'll take a couple more deep breaths. And then we'll be lowering the hands, lifting the hips upwards, and see where you are on the mat. Let's look for a little free-flowing movement. So next inhale, come up halfway, lengthen the spine, squeeze the shoulders back. Exhale, lower, release. Inhale all the way up. And then we'll bring palms together, draw the hands in. Okay, so stepping to give yourself enough room so that the arms can move forward and back. Okay, the next inhalation, feet can stay where they are, they can come closer together. Next inhale, reach the arms forward, up, and then lift the toes. I'm sorry, not the toes, lift the heels. Exhale, the heels down, take the arms back, and then fold all the way down. Inhale, come all the way up. Lift the heels. Exhale, lower. We're going to continue this a few more times. You can keep legs bent or straight. Inhale, all the way up. Lift the heels. Exhale, lower. A few more times on your own. We'll go a little bit longer, noticing how this is changing as you're moving through. Now we'll go one more time, reaching upwards, lifting the heels and holding for 3 breaths. Notice what you have to activate in the body in order to keep the heels lifted. And we'll exhale, lower the heels down, release the arms. Take the hands to the hips and then just step the right foot forward, just enough so that the foot is lifted but the heel is down. So you're flexing the foot. And let's just give the back of the leg a little attention here. So we're going to just hinge forward, so it's a more gentle version of other things we've done. Take a clearing breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. See what that does to the body. When we release what we don't need. And then rise. I'm going to switch legs. Step the right foot down. Step the left foot forward, flexing the foot. Just the heel is on the mat. And then we'll start to hinge forward. Check in with the back. If you're rounding the back, you probably need to lift the trunk up a little bit, right? So sometimes we think going lower means that it's going to be better, but it's not better if the back is getting compromised and we're extending in areas that don't need to be extended. In fact, need to do the opposite. So mindful of not encouraging the weaknesses that are already existing in the body. You could think about it that way. Another breath or so. And then we'll be coming back up and stepping the feet down. And let's take about 10 of what we were just doing, these kind of arm swings, lifting the heels, and then lowering into folds. So whenever you're ready, begin. After those 10, we'll meet again, arms reaching up and heels lifted. And release. Now, we will find what we were just in, but potentially with like a prop underneath you. So go ahead and find whatever it is you can put underneath the front foot. And I've got a 4-inch block and a 3-inch block. So I'm going to see what's going to be better for me. And we're going to start this time with more distance between the feet. We're going to step right foot forward so that we've got the foot supported now, but the heel is down, the rest of the foot resting on that front block. Left toes facing forward. Okay, let's take the hands behind, interlace. We'll take a hold of opposite elbow. And then inhale, lift the heart, look upwards. Next exhale, begin to fold. So this wedge is going to help make this really effective. Get rid of some tension in the back of the leg, the hamstring, and the calf. Okay, and then just check in and see. So I'd like to go a little bit of a steeper incline here with my foot. And you may stay halfway up, or you may be able to fold a little bit more deeply, especially if you can keep the back fairly straight. And then we'll line up the neck with the rest of the back and look slightly forward. So I tend to kind of leave the head up a little bit much on this one, but I'm going to align the neck. And we're going to be here for a little bit, and as we're here in this position, breathing deeply, let's just take a moment silently to remember within ourselves, why do we even do this? Is this just a form of exercise for us? Is this a way to lose weight? Is this a way to feel healthy? Or does it go deeper? So even if all of those are true, it can still have a deeper meaning, this practice, this physical aspect of yoga. So go in and see, just go in underneath every reason that you do this for, and see if you can find more and more meaning underlining the reasons that you practice and underlying them as well. As you're going deeper internally with the meaning of your practice, remember to keep going deeper with the body as well. So finding maybe the hands can lower. We're going to start to come out of this, and we'll reverse out by coming up halfway first and then rising up, releasing the foot. Plant both feet and just start to rock side to side. Taking hands to hips. You might also circle the hips. It's a great way to open up there. I've been finding just taking these nice hip circles have helped me with being seated through the day at the computer. And let us find a little bit of a back bend here, feet planted a little closer together. Engage the thighs, the glutes, and then lift the heart upwards. We'll come into neutral and then get ready for the other side. So we'll step the left foot forward, right toes face forward, get some good distance between the feet. You can have more or less, and you can experiment as you go through. Take the hands behind, find opposite elbows with hands, lift the heart, and then exhale, send the heart forward. So you have the front foot on, wedged on the prop in front of you. And you do not have to have it there, right? But it's going to just make this really effective. And depending on how much tightness you have in the body, it may mean that, as opposed to having the foot down, that you have to keep the trunk up higher, if you're especially dealing with tightness. But if you're more open, you might find that this is helpful in that it increases the stretch and gives you a little bit more challenge. Deep ujjayi breaths, so that each breath is so consistent. Every part of the breath, every part of the inhalation is consistent, where we don't rush in any one part of the inhalation. The whole thing is just one long, drawn out inhalation. And same with the exhalation. And then let's come back into these deeper layers of meaning that we each individually have for our physical practice. Go beyond the surface physical benefits that occur naturally from this practice. Go beyond, you know, strong muscles, go beyond flexibility, go beyond weight loss, and even go beyond feeling, you know, calm. See if you can go past that. What's underneath it? Why does that matter? Maybe 3 more deep breaths. Start to reverse out of this. Come up halfway first. Rise all the way up. And bring the foot down. Find some motion here. And maybe some circles with the hips. Maybe some side bends. Okay, so we're going to now meet at the center of the mat is fine. And then we'll have the big toes together, the heels apart. Going to bring palms together, hands in. Bring the weight into the heels. Take the bottom back a little bit, the trunk forward. Then bend the knees, sitting down, and then lifting the trunk up, lifting the sternum up. Inhale, reach the arms upwards. Exhale, twist to the right. Let's hold this for 4 breaths, gazing past the right thumb, tucking the right shoulder blade into the back. Inhale, center, arms reach up. Exhale, twist left. Sinking in, gazing past left thumb. Right, palms are facing out to the left. Knees are facing forward. And we'll inhale, come to center. But before we come to straight legs, sink in a little deeper and lift the heels in this position. Lower the hips down. Notice what gets activated as you lower. Take 2 more breaths. Plant the heels, fold forward over the legs, let them straighten up. Couple deep breaths, feeling this forward fold. Now we're going to step the left foot back. So give yourself some space, maybe walk up a little bit. Step the left foot back and heel toe the right foot to the right. So both hands are to the inside of the right foot, planted, palms. Let's move the right knee out a little bit, maybe lift the heart at the same time. So feel this one. Right knee out to the right, the foot's lifted, all but the right edge of it, the heart is lifted. Then plant the heel, and then as if you're coming into like a cat posture,
press into the palms, round the back a bit, let the head come down. So we're going to sink the hips now, open the right knee, look up, exhale, foot down, cat-like motion. Okay, so inhaling, maybe kind of like a cow-like motion here, right? But there's a little less mobility. And then exhale, rounding. Take a few more of these. Let's make a nice twist out of this. So then we'll relax that left hip down, keep the foot planted this time, and then inhale, pick up the right arm. One more breath. Exhale, right hand down. We'll heel toe the right foot to come to center. Bring the hand to the outside of the foot, step the left foot up, and then let's switch legs. Right foot steps back. Heel toe the foot to the left. Hands are down, arms are straight. And here we're going to explore. So left knee out to the left, the foot picks up. That right hip drops. Plant the foot. Press away from the hands, lifting the back. Continue like this. Inhaling, dropping the hip, opening the foot, the knee. Exhaling. Foot plants, lift. This is too low, of course. Hopefully you've already brought those blocks underneath the hands. And then when you're ready, keep the foot planted and inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale. Left hand comes down. Let's get the foot to the inside of the hands. And now this time we're going to step back. So you can bring right knee down, left knee down into table, and then let's work with the wrist for a moment. So let's pick up the right arm, circle the wrist, maybe even lift that arm up, shake it out, and then turn the hand so the fingers face back. So just working with the right hand. If you need a deeper stretch, you'll take the hips back. Let those clearing breaths occur organically. So when you feel that tension being released, let it go and aid that process by exhaling out through the mouth. So we're going to release the hand at this time and maybe a circle or two again. Then we'll bring the right hand down and then inhale, maybe lift the left arm as you rotate the wrist. Exhale the hand down and turn the fingers to face back. Maybe taking the hips back to increase the stretch. some circles. Come to child's posture. Lower the hips. Elbows can stay down as you circle the wrists a little bit more. And then release. Focus on the breath. Let's take some moments to hold the breath just gently, so nothing major. Allowing for an inhalation to last at least 5 seconds if you can. Maybe get it to 6, 7, 8 seconds. And then you're just going to hold the breath for 2 seconds. After that inhale, after you hold, exhale for the same amount of time as your inhalation. At the bottom of the exhale, you can hold for 2 seconds. So let's try inhaling. Holding, exhaling. Holding, inhaling. Holding, exhaling. Holding, inhaling. Holding, and just exhale and release all of that. Let's rise up to a table posture, and we're going to thread the needle. So let's inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale, thread the right arm through. Come all the way down to the right shoulder, right side of the face. 4 breaths, so find the position that feels right for you. Maybe left arm is happy there. Maybe you want to take it forward or wrap around the back. Left palm down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread this arm through. Set it up, and then 4 deep breaths. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale the hand down. And now we're ready to do some work with the shoulders. So grab a strap. Or the lucky belt that you found in your wardrobe. I haven't worn this in a long time. And you can sit on your bottom, or you can sit on a block. But the point is, this is so important. The point is, if you're like this because you have tightness, then it's going to be so distracting. This is going to be really difficult to do, and you're just going to be distracted, and you could be getting more out of this if you just elevate. So when you're ready, we'll start by taking the strap, and it's going to be wider than shoulders distance, and I'm going to wrap this around because it's such a thin strap. So wrapping it around my hands. It's wider than shoulders distance. The arms will go forward and straight. We're going to keep the arms straight. And then on the inhalation, lift the arms. On the exhale, take the arms back. So as far back as you can, but this might mean that you have to increase the distance between the hands. So it's kind of, the first one is going to be a little bit of a test. Exhaling, taking the arms back. I could see they're slightly bent. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, you can lower the arms all the way down. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, behind. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Now, we're going to do this a little longer, but if you find that you'd like a different position with the legs, see maybe if sitting on the heels is going to be better. So I'm going to try it this way. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale. We'll take about 3 more. So this time we'll keep the arms behind and find about 3 deep breaths. Feeling a deep stretch in the underarms and the chest. Lots of good contraction going on in the upper back. This helps us so much with our posture. If you just really notice, what we're doing is so much the opposite of what slouching is. Right? That really occurs in the upper back, in the middle of the back. Let's add another deep breath. And then you can bring the arms forward and release. So now we're going to do something similar, but we're going to be working one arm down behind the back. So I think I'll stay on a side view here. We're going to have the arms just about the same distance. And then we'll take the arms and they'll be lifted. But then on the exhale, you'll take one arm, so we'll start with the left arm down and the right arm up. And you're going to feel good rotation in the shoulder, lots of motion there. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, right arm down. Inhaling, exhaling. See how far back you can take that lower arm. Inhaling and exhaling. A few more of these. Keep the arms straight. Now we'll stay on one side for 3 breaths. And then you'll switch sides for 3 breaths. And then we'll find our way back up and release. Oh, that feels so good. Go ahead and circle the shoulders a few times. And we're going to end with a little bit of blood flow going to the head to energize your day. So we'll take the hands behind. Now we have hopefully more range of motion. We can take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulders back, look upwards. This might be good, or you might want to go upside down. Just come forward, lift the hips, forehead to the mat, then the crown of the head to the mat. This is going to give a nice sensation to the back as well as you take the arms up and behind, or up and over the head as best as you can. Release the arms, bring the hands down, press up to table. Let's finish the way we started. So take that right leg back into moving into pigeon posture. So maybe if you'd like a downward facing dog, you can roll over the toes, lift the right leg. Feels good to get that range of motion in after what we've done. Right knee to right hand, left leg sides back. Fold in, and then let's take 5 really effective breaths here, coming back to the focus on prana, and maybe giving prana a golden-like hue, like gold dust, riding the breath, entering and filling up the body, giving it a healing, all the properties it has for healing, filling up in the body. For energization. Feeling that sense of vitality moving through the body, animating the body, animating all the processes of it. Making this body more effective so that you can spend more time with the mind. Okay, after those 5 breaths, we'll come out and then come into the other side. Same focus here on prana. Okay, ready to move? Come out. Now you're going to find your final posture here. So maybe you want to take some circles with the head or move into a spinal twist or a fold or a happy baby. We're making our way to Shavasana. And when you're ready, start to lower or release the body depending on what stage you're in. So letting the body go. And once you are there, let the hands be away from the trunk. So one thing people tend to do is bring the appendages all in, and in order for them to be so close to each other, so close to the trunk, you have to be holding on. So the point here is to not hold on. So why don't you just see what that's like. Bring the feet together, bring the arms together. Feel that. It almost feels like militaristic here, right? Like standing at attention. Okay, we're not standing at attention. We're doing exactly the opposite and really letting all of this go, because now the physical body is no longer our concern. So feet to the corners of the mat, turn the toes out, arms away from the hips, trunk, palms up. Relaxing from shoulder to fingertips, relaxing from hips to toes, relaxing from the crown of the head to the root chakra, releasing the face, and releasing any control and will over the breath. Maybe a nice inhalation, and then you just let that go with that exhale, and everything else just is, and you're with it, resting. Start to pay attention to the breath. Once again, moving through the body without your effort now. Just watching how it flows, watching how life is taking care of you. Feeling the beauty in that dance that we constantly are going through of willfully engaging in activity and then willfully releasing all of that engagement and just being and doing, being and doing. And so now you can begin to deepen the breath. Feeling the qualities of prana taking effect. Moving the body. And then finding your way to seated to seal this practice today. Once you rise, really pay attention to what the upper back is doing. And you might notice that it feels more upright. I know that I feel that my body has responded very well to the work that we've done. And whenever you notice those kinds of things, incorporate them into your life as much as you can. Make it a daily practice, at the very minimum a weekly practice. We'll seal our practice today, palms together, creating the sound of Om. Deep breath in.
Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. Thank you.